Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are the Dualists. My name is Corey Dean,
And this is Ryan.
and today we are playing Left 4 Dead 2. Now, I picked up Left 4 Dead 2 a long time ago for console. Played a lot of split-screen co-op at the time when it first came out in 2009, at the end of 2009, by Valve. And I spent a lot of time playing it, mostly split-screen co-op. I did very little of single player or any kind of versus or survival, any of the extra modes, just mostly co-op missions throughout most of the maps you can play in this game. But I eventually kind of dropped it, just moved on, lost the copy. I think I sold it at some point, trade in, and forgot all about it. And even though I really liked the game, it just kind of played so much of it that it kind of wore me out. Now, in 2013, and during the holiday season, Steam was doing its usual holiday sale, and at the very end of the holiday sale, at the beginning of 2014, they had a special for people who participated in the sale. Everyone who did got a free copy of Left 4 Dead 2 on PC for Steam. And so I was like, oh, great, this is awesome. Finally get this game again. I missed it. It's a lot of fun. It's been a long time since I played it. So I picked it up and downloaded it, and I could have sworn at the time that I played it split-screen co-op, even on PC. So when we were getting ready to do this episode, I just booted up the game thinking, yeah, I remember doing this. And I don't know if I got confused and mixed up between the original version that we had played on console, or if for some reason I just forgot how much trouble it was. But the actual split-screen co-op mode in this game is there, but you would never know it. As you notice from the main menu, there is no local or split-screen cooperative mode in any of the options. So through some digging and through
In the
some
360 version, there actually was an option on the screen that said
Yes.
split screen. It specifically said split screen. I remember that from the 360 version, and that's
Yeah.
not even labeled on here. So
Yeah.
that was our first clue that something was a little bit different about the PC version.
Right, and that was, I tried, looking through, well, play campaign, there's all these options, that no, local or split screen mentioned anywhere, and so I got kind of confused and frustrated. So after some digging, I found out that I noticed on a few different forums that people were talking about, yes, it is there, and it took me a long time to figure it out, but I finally did. So along with this play of part of Left 4 Dead 2 today, I thought it would be a kind of interesting idea to at least throw a little tutorial in the front about how to do split screen co-op to anyone who's interested, because even though PC games don't always have split screen co-op modes, especially when this came out in around 2009, it is a lot more commonplace nowadays with people who have friends over playing PC games together split screen. So let me give you a short little tutorial on how you do this. The interesting part about this is that all of the ability to do this is still left in all of the menus. All of it's still there. All of the files are still there. It was already programmed to have a split screen co-op mode, and that's true for the survival mode and realism mode. I don't know exactly how to access those, but I'm pretty sure that every mode has a split screen version to it, except for maybe the versus mode. I'm not sure about that one, but I'm pretty sure that every other version has a split screen co-op mode. But anyway, we're just going to be playing the main campaign today for the first chapter or mission or whatever it's called. So anyway, I'm going to show you how you go ahead and go about doing this. So first you want to open the options, go to keyboard and mouse, and select allow developer console. Now this option is disabled by default, so enable this option. Then go back to the main menu. Now from here, this is the part that kind of threw me for a loop, because I went to so many different forums and different websites hosting those different forums, and there was some that were very vague, some that were very concise, and they are mixed in as well with Left 4 Dead 1 split screen tutorials, which I don't know at all how that works, but I do know that it's a totally different procedure for how you get it started. So it took me a while to figure out how this is all totally done, but anyway, what you want to do is from the main menu, hit the little, I don't even know exactly what this is. It looks like a backwards apostrophe, but and a little squiggly dash line, but it's right above tab and right next to the 1 key. So you're going to want to hit that key, and then from there, this is the console. Now from here, you want to type in ss underscore map and then space, and from here, now normally you're going to want to enter C for chapter, and then you can enter chapter 1 or chapter 2, any of the chapters. When you see these entered, it should automatically show you a little drop box you see there right below it that kind of tells you, okay, if you launch chapter 2, there's chapter 1, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and so there is a drop down box for selecting it easier. You just need to know ss underscore map space C C1 or whatever. Now if you want a little bit more concise list of how to access a specific map or a specific type game mode, I will include a link to a form that lists all of the selections and how to access them in the description. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and start this up. So C1 M1, and that goes underscore hotel, which I'm just going to go ahead and click it. Sorry, I'm using one hand here to do all of this and flipping through a book on the other hand. So, now this will launch the game, but it won't be in split screen mode right out of the gate. So, as soon as that loads, this is done. The one drawback to this is that you can't select a character. There is no option for selecting which character you want to play as, but very minuscule drawback to being able to do this. Now from here, to set the co-op mode, go back to start. When you push start, the console should automatically be open, but if it's not, you just push the same key to open the console. Now, this is the part that starts split screen mode. From here, you type connect underscore split screen space localhost space 2. Enter. And once this gets loaded, we should be in co-op mode. In the split screen co-op mode. And there we are. Now, for your information, in case you have a different type of monitor or TV or whatever that you're playing on and you would rather have a horizontal line to split you up and a more widescreen approach, there is a way to do that. I'm going to just go ahead and show you real quick right here. To select the different split screen modes, you have to type in ss underscore split mode and space 1 for horizontal and ss underscore split mode 0 for vertical. So there's the two different modes, and just so you know, for your own information, for your own information, the second player does have his or her own access to their own control scheme. They can invert their sticks. They can select however they want their button layout to be, their keyboard layout to be, if they're using a controller or a keyboard and mouse. Either way, everything should be easy enough to get going from there. So, now that that's out of the way, let's play some Left 4 Dead.
Okay.
Sorry for the long
It's okay.
procedure there. But
Took us ages to figure that out.
yeah, so
Compared to how
hopefully,
long it took to get all that figured out, that wasn't so bad at all.
right. So
You know,
hopefully, if anyone else out there is
yesterday we did briefly play the game just to make sure that the split mode works. But other than that, we have not played the game in several years since the Xbox version.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we played
a little
this,
bit rocky, but we'll get used to it.
As I mentioned before, though, we really did enjoy this game for a long time, and even though it has been a long time since we played it, we know the basic ideas behind the game's functions. So,
well, as you might have noticed if you've been watching most of our videos on the channel thus far, we play a lot of co-op games. We like to play co-op games together. And there are times when they seem few and far between.
Oh, get out here. Yeah, and in fact, you know, especially when I was, especially for people... Wow, I'm already down.
God.
She spit right into me. Literally spit right on top of me. Freaking sucks.
It's not coming up.
Okay. Somebody Ella saved me. Yeah, it's fine. Oh, jeez. Oh, she's healing me now. Okay, cool. Thank you, Rochelle. And you're a lifesaver. Yeah, you know, yesterday when I, or the other day when I looked up that tutorial for how to do split-screen co-op, there were some people that were almost offended that someone wanted to play a PC game split-screen co-op rather than LAN or just online. And to be honest, I can understand that for a long time, PC gaming didn't have that sort of feature in it. I understand that there are some people out there in the PC gaming realm that look at any feature that is a old console exclusive sort of feature and look at it as something that has no place in a PC game. But, you know, with the way that PC gaming has gone in the last couple years and how many different new and interesting types of games have been put on the market and how much multiplayer has been pushed and how big multiplayer is now, the fact that if someone wants to play with a friend or a girlfriend or a family member or whatever and they happen to be in the same house, it kind of sucks that you're just flat out screwed if you want to play with them and they don't have access to another copy of the game and another computer to play it on. And even if that is the case, to be able to play it in the same room requires, you know, a whole another setup and a whole another you know, load of space being taken up. So
you want it.
Oh, where is
there's
it?
Also looks like a defibrillator or something on the ground.
Yeah, I saw that in there.
You know, in this case, this game really is meant as the name implies, the double entendre in the name, meant as a classic kind of co-op FPS.
Right. And the idea that
the whole name Left 4 Dead with the 4 implies that, you know, that kind of co-op 4-player FPS game that's really meant to be played together. Oh my God!
Oh, they're coming from everywhere.
I got a big bruiser on me. Whatever those guys are called.
Big bruiser. That's good enough. No, it's weird because of the fact that yes, it is, you know, and not only do the console versions have that feature on them, which, you know, doesn't necessarily mean that the PC game has to, but what does surprise me is that, like I said, all of the files for split-screen multiplayer are already in the folder. All of the features to access them are already there. It was like
it really just seems like they just removed the option to do it from the main menu, and that's really all.
It's unusual
that was changed.
That feature would be already in place and everything you need already done without me having to alter any file in any of the folders for this game. So yeah, it is a little it's a little odd that was removed from the options, but. In any case, it is still accessible, and it's not as hard as some other games are to access those features. So at the very least, it's still there and you can still get it. You just gotta do a little research beforehand. But the idea that you have to play these types of games co-op, if your favorite option or the most fun option to you is playing with someone co-op and splitting the screen up, then there's still a ton of people for someone who was originally a console gamer and really didn't get into PC gaming until much later on in my life, because I was really the only tech savvy person in my household. If there was something that needed to be figured out, I needed to figure it out, or no one would do anything about it. So, did you just check your pipe bomb?
Yeah, I didn't even really mean to throw it. But,
well,
I
whatever.
think there's another one coming up, if I remember correctly. Is this it?
No, those are pills. Oh, whoa! Oh! As you can see, this is by no means also, it's a co-op shooter for a reason. And that's why there's AI in this game, regardless of whether there are real-life partners or not. Because this game it's one of the games that has tons and tons of zombies. It really gives you that horde sort of feel.
They come at you in horde.
Yeah, and there's
waves,
just huge waves
of just a huge horde of zombies.
And it really takes a concerted effort, an entire group of people all focusing their attention on the pack to be able to take those groups down. And sometimes it can be really tough, especially when the multitude of different types of zombies are mixed in. Then especially some of the stronger ones that are really difficult to deal with. It can be very hard to... Where are you guys? Why aren't you following? I'm about to fall off this building here. And that also kind of brings up a point, because when I was playing this game, I was reminded of, me and Ryan are fans of a lot of gaming sort of Let's Players of various types, whether it's, blind play or first impressions sort of videos, or for the purpose of review, or even just an old-fashioned straight Let's Play of something. We like to watch a lot of different people and their channels and check out their work. And one person we've been watching recently a lot is Jim Sterling's channel. Started watching the Jimquisition, but then we started watching his Squirty Plays, which were essentially sort of a first impressions blind play of a lot of different games, usually covering indie games, and Steam being a large source of a lot of that content. And there's been such a huge boom in both the survival and the first-person shooter zombie, and even just zombie apocalypse style indie games, and there are very few that actually succeed and do something right. And with Jim Sterling's case, the most famous that really got attention was the Slaughtering Grounds, of course. But there are tons and tons of survival horror-esque or just survival zombie apocalypse sort of stories that indie designers have put together, and you have to wonder sometimes, especially when things like this are on the market, and there's nothing at all that could be considered even similar to...
that one actually worked well, though.
Oh, yeah, that works. Ha! There's nothing
stuff
at
like
all.
that is what kind of reminds you periodically, too, that this is how to do that right.
Right.
I think.
Because
this is how to do the zombie shooter co-op FPS genre right.
There's a point that he made in a recent video, and it wasn't about this style of game, the zombie shooter, but it was a kind of blanket idea for some indie developers who understand. He basically pointed out that some people that understand a genre is popular, but don't really understand why, and they think that just slapping some of the similar properties of the game together and putting it under a blanket sort of classification is enough to get attention and make the game successful. And it really isn't, because it feels cold-hearted and insincere. And I would say, especially to those types of people that really don't understand, if you haven't, check out games like this. Play games like Left 4 Dead. If you're interested in making a zombie survival, first-person shooter, zombie survival game of any sort, that was action-based or even, survival-based, horror-based, anything, play games in those genres. Play games like this and look at what they did right, and look at the areas that people are most interested in. Look at the areas that you find the most unique, and doesn't mean you copy them, but kind of figure out what makes them good and try to do something similar. Like, one thing that this game does exceptionally well is the fact that there are such wide arrays of zombies. There's the smokers, which, they have the tongue and they pull you in and your teammates have to shoot it. They have the chargers that will just gore you with this huge, big-bodied zombie rushdown style.
I don't think we've run into all the types yet.
Yeah,
I think you do eventually in this level. We've ran into the boomers. There's the big, fat, bloated ones that explode in bile, and then there's the bruiser ones that are strong and charge you. There's the little, I don't really know what they are. They remind me of the flea men from Castlevania.
Yeah, those
They're
little hunchback
little
guys.
hopper hunchbacks, yeah.
And they will jump on your back and just torment the hell out of you as long as
those
are
are
there.
probably the worst. Oh no, actually the acid spitters. Those
yeah, the
are
spitters,
the worst.
the acid spitters, and then you mentioned them, but specifically the zombies that spit like puke bile at you.
Yeah.
What that does is that gets the attention of every zombie nearby, and they just swarm you. And not only that, but your field of view is extremely blurred from the puke that's all over your body and in your face.
I think your movement speed is slow
and
as well.
yeah, I think you're slowed a little
remember.
bit, but regardless, even if you are moving normal speed, you couldn't tell what you were seeing half the time because there's all that puke in your face. So there's that, and then on top of that, they also use some aspects of just the level design, game design. Just for example, like how important noise is to zombies, whether it's these pipe bombs we've been throwing that have little beepers on them that get zombies' attention. They all start swarming the pipe bomb because they hear it. They hear something there, and they're after it. They start trying to attack the pipe bomb, but it eventually blows up because it attracted all their attention. There's also some areas where there are cars that have alarms on, and it'll warn you, like, don't shoot the vehicle and don't jump on the vehicle because there's an alarm. And if a car alarm goes off, every zombie nearby is going to come after you.
Yeah, the mechanics of the game and the way it works is very interesting.
Yeah, they really have some very interesting and unique features to it that make it so that it is not in any way just just your typical heartless sort of
Dirty
Deagle. All right.
You already have a pipe bomb.
Yeah, there's one over there. Yeah. But yeah, it's not your
the
typical sort of heartless, no sense of feeling your surroundings and feeling your predicament. And this game really makes you feel like you are struggling every second to survive with this just immense horde ready to spring on you at
even
any
though
time.
it's not survival horror FPS by any means, there is an element of survival in it, in the sense that you're not that there's anything wrong with things like Halo or Destiny or anything like that, but I usually kind of prefer the FPS games where you're not playing super soldier that can go anywhere, do anything, and can take out hordes of enemies all by himself with relative ease.
Right.
I rather like the ones where your combat abilities are a little more reasonable. And it's not to say that this game is not over the top. It's very over the top. It's blood, it's violence, it's one-liner cracks, and the just the common submachine gun. The common zombie horror flick tropes that are in it, and
Yeah.
with the Walking Dead and everything becoming such a popular
Yeah. And this game was
a popular show, and
2009, way before The Walking Dead was as popular as it's become. And,
fire.
yeah, I see. Oh, I backed up into another fire.
I believe this is where we left off.
As you notice too, like health items and health itself, it's non-regenerating. It is kind of hard to come by. And even though you get items like pills and adrenaline shots and things like that, those items give you that. If you notice my health bar on the far left, down at the bottom, I have that little area that looks kind of like spider webbish, or just kind of broken up. That is health that I have taken in pill form and not from a health kit to actually heal myself officially. So what that does is it gives you a temporary health boost. But over time, that health continues to degenerate despite the fact that you gained health, because it's not a legitimate source of health in the game's functions. In the game's functions, you have to either use a health kit or be almost dead, I think, and really be
standard healing items are a bit few and hard to find. Oh,
yeah.
Here's a shotgun in here if you want it. I actually like the silenced submachine gun.
So,
partly because it's a fun weapon to use, but partly also because it is silenced, and that does matter in this game.
Right,
As we were talking about earlier with the mechanics of the gameplay, the way that you attract zombies or don't attract them, stay, I guess, not really stealthy, but the in-game equivalent of in this. To attract enemies less.
Blew his head off.
Just go walking in here.
Oh, Jesus. Yep, I see.
Be back a second.
Oh, whoops, sorry, I shut.
Oh,
that was me.
never mind.
You ran out the door, I thought you were...
I think the way it works, you are constantly warned to not shoot your teammates. Obviously, in a game like this, if they had made friendly fire actually give damage to allies, it just would not have worked.
Well, it does do damage. It just doesn't do as much damage.
Oh, it does do damage.
Yeah.
I didn't think it did.
Yeah,
I
it
thought
does.
that it just knocked back or stunned.
No, it does do damage. It's just it's obviously not enough to drain a large amount of health unless you're just standing there in front of somebody for a large amount of time. Okay, I got one too, just in case we need to use another one. Oh, look out behind! Jesus!
Oh, fuck.
Man, we got zombies
Get in the room if you
everywhere.
can't get away from the fire.
I'm trying to stay in the... Oh, what are you doing, Ellis? Take it easy. And where did you go? Oh,
I
you're
ran
out
in the
here.
room.
Okay. So yeah, and then areas like this where you have all this smoke everywhere and you see, this type of thing.
Really adds.
Yeah, it's like what you were saying, about the super
pain
soldier
builder.
type of shooter where it's a...
Hey, little,
there is the...
flea man
Oh,
on
I'm
me.
working on it. Oh, now I got bile all over
yeah,
me.
me too. Oh, this ain't working.
Should I just throw the pipe bomb out?
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
Look out. Oh, now I'm on fire. I got one zombie with... Oh, I didn't even get one zombie with that.
Huh.
Eh.
There's some pain pills in there.
Oh,
I need to
Rochelle's
use
almost
my,
dead. You're
I need
almost
to use
dead.
my health kit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Although I shouldn't have used my.
I have
pills,
one as well, so just
Okay.
go ahead and use it if anyone's hurt. I can. And this is why we were talking about the super soldier kind of game and modern military shooter type of games and just games in general nowadays in the shooter genre. And I think that it's not necessarily that those games are really that bad. It's just that to do something clever and interesting is really difficult in this day and age because there are things that have been done, and I might as well take it. There are quite a few things that haven't, that have been done, and you might feel like whatever you're making is unoriginal. But I mean, in terms of what has been done, for sure, those types of shooters, those cold,
on the bile.
super soldier types of shooters where it's one really powerful guy in a group of highly trained military personnel who are really we got to the safe room.
Oh yeah, I guess it was a good time to use my health kit.
That type of system is really kind of easy to jump into, whereas something like this, where the level design is extremely difficult to figure out entirely how to make a really good game like this.
Oh wow, I was dropping him on that one.
So anyway, yeah, good work. But in any case, it's rare to find a shooter that really breaks a lot of molds now. A lot of older FPS were very unusual and very original, but there are very few that do that in this day and age. And when you look at something like Left 4 Dead, even though it's still pretty new, it came out in 2009, it is still very interesting and unique, even now to play by comparison to other modern shooters in a broad genre. So anyone out there who has not played Left 4 Dead or Left 4 Dead 2, either of the games in the franchise, I do highly recommend them, especially
Mac 10.
especially when you have some buddies, either LAN or in real live in real life to play with. So thanks anyway, you guys, for watching. Check us out next time. We are the Dualists. My name's Corey Dean.
This is Ryan. Thanks for watching our video.
Yes.
Hope to do one more in the near future.
Yeah, we would like to get another Left 4 Dead done. Maybe not take so much time explaining how to do the split screen itself.
Won't have to do that next time. It'll be straight to the action.
Right.
Next one.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you next time.